Welcome to the quiz show that demands nothing less than perfection. Behind this screen are 4 contestants who'll be hoping their knowledge is flawless because one single mistake could give the game away. This is perfection. Welcome to Perfection, the quiz show where only perfect play is good enough. Behind me are the contestants. We call them the usual suspects. They're in our isolation room. In a moment, we'll find out which one of them has been randomly selected to join me here to play Perfection. They will then face a series of true or false statements. For example, if I said there are over 100,000 charities in the UK, would you say that's true or false? Well, if you'd said true, I can tell you you'd be right. Answering true or false might seem easy, but if the contestant gets a single answer wrong, their opponents, the usual suspects, will be allowed into the game to capitalise on their mistakes. So, you know how the game works. Let's meet the usual suspects.
Hi, I'm Ben from Northampton. I'm a solicitor, and this is my first game.
Hi everybody, my name is Brian. I live in London and I'm originally from Dublin. I'm an IT manager, and this is my first game.
Hello, I'm Cheryl. I'm from Overton, near Basingstoke. I'm a sales support administrator, and this is my third game.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm from Manchester. I'm a laboratory technician, and this is my 5th game.
Best of luck to you all as we now find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play Perfection. Ben, it's you. Please come down and join me. Ben, welcome to the game.
Thank you.
Let's find out a little bit more about you. You're very keen on music festivals.
That's right.
There's a big one, Isle of Wight.
Isle of Wight Music Festival every year.
Yeah.
There's a few of us that go there every year.
It's a pretty horrible thing to do, though, isn't it? Really, I mean, the music's all right and the food's OK, but to be honest, you stink by the end of it, don't you? And you're usually covered in mud in this country.
You do. There are showers. Not that I've ever availed myself of them.
No.
No, the sun normally shines on the Isle of Wight, but the last few years it's been pretty awful.
The Isle of Wight Tourist Board will be really chuffed with you.
Yes, this year. Fingers crossed for this year.
Yeah. All right, well, look, Ben, it's now you versus the usual suspects. They were your teammates. They're now very definitely your enemies. Their job is to stop you from winning the prize fund because your failure will mean the prize money rolls over to the next game where one of them could be down there playing for a bigger total. Now, every game on Perfection is worth £1,000. It's the fantastic news for you. Nobody's won the last 11 games, so the prize fund currently stands at £12,000. So what are you going to spend it on the moment you walk out of here with it?
The day I applied for the show, the questions asked, what would you do with the money? And I said, well, my car's falling apart. I'm planning to drive it into the ground. Funnily enough, that day, a deer ran out on me, and I ended up writing my car off. So, a new car.
Well, look, best of luck. Here's how the game works. You'll play 3 rounds and then a final. Every round that you achieve perfection will make the final easier for you. However, if your performance is anything less than perfect, usual suspects here will have a chance to step in and steal the round, making the final that much harder for you. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. And away they go. Ben, each round consists of 4 true or false statements. You'll be answering against the clock. You'll only have 45 seconds, and once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in.
Right.
Happy?
Happy.
Then let's play Perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds start now. Beautiful World is a 2006 album by Take That.
Yes, I won't give myself away to saying I own it, but yes, that's true.
True. The planet Mercury has 40 moons. True or false?
I'm pretty sure Mercury hasn't got any moons, so I'll say false.
False. Among US states, Alaska comes first alphabetically.
Alabama, I'll say false.
False. And finally, a female crab is called a hen.
Absolutely no idea, so I will say false.
False. And with that, you've answered all 4 statements. How was that?
It was okay. It was okay. 3 out of 4 I was okay with.
So you don't actually own the album Beautiful World by Take That?
Okay, I do.
Your kudos at your music festival has just dropped slightly.
I haven't even got a sister to blame it on. So I don't know.
Before we reveal how well you've done, it's time to bring back the usual suspects. Now, don't forget, they will be able to hear you. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Ben's answers. Cheryl, what do you think? Has he achieved perfection?
I think it's close to perfection, but I have a slight doubt about D.
What do you think, Brian? Can you see anything wrong with these answers?
I've no idea what a female crab is called. However, that's exactly how I would have answered, so I think he's done well.
Something of a vote of confidence from the usual suspects. Let's find out how many are correct. 3 out of 4 is a good score, but it's not perfection. And as a result, you've let your enemies, the usual suspects, into the game with a chance to steal this round if they can find out which one of your answers is wrong.
I'm not 100% sure about D. There's something in the back of my mind.
I'm fairly certain A is correct and C. Mercury, I'm not sure on, but I don't think it has 40 moons. I'd be inclined to change D.
Nick, we'd like to change D from false to true, please.
D changes from false to true, leaving A, B and C as answered by Ben. All right, usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. Beautiful World is a 2006 album by Take That. Is that true or false? It is true. Big fan, Brian, of Take That?
I'm not a massive fan of Take That. That's not in my collection at all.
Several people claiming it's not in their collection today. The planet Mercury has 40 moons. True or false? False. It has no moons at all, in actual fact. Among US states, Alaska comes first alphabetically. True or false? False. Alabama, of course, as you said, comes first. A female crab is called a hen. You know what's happening here now, don't you? Is it true or false? It's absolutely true. Congratulations, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. Well, that's a bit of an early poke in the eye, Ben, isn't it, to be fair? They've managed to succeed where you failed and they've stolen the round. Usual suspects, you now have the opportunity to make Ben's chances of winning the prize fund that much harder in the final. Let's have a look at his final board, shall we? Ben, these 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories. Here are your final round category options, starting with bones and on to wham with many more in between. Because the pesky usual suspects stole it from you, they get to choose 2 categories, trying to make the final that much more difficult for you. So indulge yourselves, usual suspects. Which 2?
Okay, any thoughts?
Okay.
I don't think opera would particularly be his scene. Opera might be a good one.
That's
Okay.
reasonable. We'll choose opera, please, Nick.
Opera goes into the final.
How about Wellington?
Wellington. Do you think, Brian?
Happy with Wellington,
Wellington?
Yep.
And we'll also go for Wellington, please.
Wellington goes into the final. Very well done, usual suspects. You won the first round. Time to switch you off. But we will see you in round 2. So what do you make of those 2 choices?
I wouldn't say they would be my first choice. They'll be difficult.
Well, let's have a look at that list. When you get the opportunity to choose 2, which will be the first 2 you choose?
Shylock, quite like Shakespeare. Pop singers, Wham. I've given myself away with Take That, so why not a bit of Wham?
Yeah. OK, and 2 that you're quite keen to avoid?
Horses and Magritte.
All right. 3 out of 4 is not a bad start, is it?
No, it's OK, it's good.
You ready to carry on?
Yeah, let's go.
Then let's play round 2. Your 45 seconds starts now. Soave is an Italian wine.
Right, I don't know the answer to this one. Soave, I'll say false.
False. The Mill on the Floss is a novel by John Grisham.
It's not by John Grisham, that's false.
False. Liechtenstein has a border with Germany.
It's close. I'll say true.
True. And finally, the cartoon character Elmer Fudd is a duck.
I won't do an impression, but no, he's not. That's false.
False. And with loads of time to spare, you answered all 4 statements.
Okay.
Good round?
2, I'd say it's half good. Half good round.
Half good. All right, then, before we reveal exactly how well you've done, time for us to bring back the usual suspects. So these were the 4 statements, and next to them are Ben's answers. Cheryl, you can kick us off this time. Is there anything wrong with those answers, do you think?
No, I think Ben's actually achieved perfection with those answers.
Brian, can you see any errors?
I'm not 100% on A. I possibly would have said true.
What do you think, Emma?
Exactly the same as Brian. I'm not 100% on A either.
But in the moment of truth, they think there might have been a mistake in there. Let's find out how many are correct. Just 2 out of 4, in fact. Certainly not perfection, and you've let the usual suspects in. What they have to do is find 2 answers to change, but which 2?
A was what jumped out at me.
So definitely.
Elmer Fudd is not a duck.
No, and The Mill on the Floss is
Yeah.
an
Yes.
old novel, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
So
by process of elimination.
We are agreed. OK, Nick, can we change A from false to true
A changes from false to true,
and C from true to false?
and C from true to false, leaving B and D as answered by Ben. Usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. Soave is an Italian wine. True or false? Yes, absolutely true. The Mill on the Floss is a novel by John Grisham. True or false? Yeah, it's false. George Eliot. Anybody recognise it? Blank looks up in The Usual Suspects. OK, we'll carry on. Liechtenstein has a border with Germany. True or false? Yes, false in actual fact. It borders Switzerland and Austria. Finally, the cartoon character Elmer Fudd is a duck. True or false? Yes, it's false. Congratulations, Usual Suspects. You have achieved perfection. In actual fact, Elmer Fudd is human. Well, he's a cartoon of a human. He's not an actual human, obviously. He's a cartoon of a human. Ben, the Usual Suspects have succeeded where you failed, and once again, they've nicked it from you, I'm afraid. Let's see the final board. First two categories chosen by the Usual Suspects, and because you won round 2, you get to choose the next 2 as well.
What about Shylock?
I had thought Shylock, yeah, I would agree with that.
A lot of people do study that play at school. That would be my only. But
Okay.
if you two will go with the majority choice.
And Russia is vast. That could be quite difficult.
Yeah, I agree on
So
Russia.
say
Okay,
Russia.
And
Should we pop that in?
Please.
Okay.
yeah, Russia, please.
Do you want to change Shylock?
Russia goes into the
If
final.
if you two want to go for that, then we go with the majority.
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
happy with Shylock.
Okay, we'll go for Shylock as well, please.
Thank you. Shylock makes it into the final. Congratulations, Usual Suspects. You've won the second round. Time to switch you off, and we'll see you in round 3. You were going to choose Shylock yourself?
I was going to, from that board, I'd have chosen Shylock.
And Russia?
Russia, well, I didn't know much about Liechtenstein, so...
They've kind of helped you a little bit there, haven't they? But not completely. So it'd be nice to win this last round and have a couple of your own choices, wouldn't it?
That would be nice. I think if I could get a bit of pop music in there, that would be okay.
Yeah, all right. Well, you still have one more chance to find perfection. Let's play round 3. Your 45 seconds start now. Sweet Tango is a variety of pear.
I've never heard of it. Sweet Tango. I'm going to say false.
False. Gru is a character in Despicable Me.
Again, I've seen this. I think Gru is the... I think it's true.
True. Folic acid is also known as vitamin B9.
It's B9 or B7. I'll say false.
False. And finally, Bob Hope Airport is in California.
I've got no idea on that one. I will say false.
False. And with that, you've answered all 4 statements.
I think that's probably the worst one of the 3.
Yeah, to be honest, it sounded like you were having to do a bit more guessing than you had done in the previous rounds.
Yeah.
All right, well, look, before we reveal how well you've done, it's time to bring back those Usual Suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Ben's answers. Brian, can you see anything wrong with those answers?
A, Sweet Tango, I wouldn't be sure of, but I would have guessed it's true. It rings a bell. And also C, I'm sure folic acid is one of the B vitamins. I remember that from when my wife was pregnant. So, yeah, I'm not sure he's perfect.
Cheryl, what do you think?
I agree partly with Brian, actually, because I think C is a B vitamin.
OK, Ben, well, they don't feel very confident. You need to have answered all 4 statements perfectly to have won the round. Let's see how many are correct. Just 2 out of 4, in actual fact. You haven't achieved perfection, and once more, the Usual Suspects get a chance to step in and steal the round. You need to change 2 answers, but which 2?
I'd be happy to change C.
So would I,
Right.
definitely.
So
And-
sorry.
I don't know D.
I've not heard of Bob Hope Airport in California, so I would be inclined to change A.
Okay, Nick, we'd like to change A from false to true,
A changes from false to true,
and C also from false to true.
and C from false to true, leaving B and D as answered by Ben. All right, Usual Suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. Sweet Tango is a variety of pear. Is that true or false? It's false, Usual Suspects. You can't achieve perfection, I'm afraid. I wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. Let's clear that up straight away. Sweet Tango is a variety of apple, in actual fact. Let's move on. Gru is a character in Despicable Me. True or false? Yes, of course, true. Folic acid is also known as vitamin B9. True or false? Yes, that's true. And Bob Hope Airport is in California. Is that true or false? Yeah, that one's true in actual fact. Bob Hope Airport is in Burbank. Let's see the final board. 4 categories on there chosen by the Usual Suspects, but we got 2 left and nobody won round 3. So what do we do? Well, to fill those blank spaces, you'll take it in turns to choose a category. So Ben, as the single player, you get to go first and choose the one category you'll be taking into the final.
The one that I'd have the best chance with is pop singers.
OK, so Pop Singers makes it into the final. And Usual Suspects, your last choice, please, for this final board.
Honestly, I think if he played chess and knew about chess, he would have chosen that for his category, which makes me think he possibly doesn't play chess. I think that might be...
OK, we'll go with that.
OK, we'll have chess, please, Nick.
OK, chess makes it into the final. We now know our 6 final categories. They are opera, Wellington, Russia, Shylock, Pop Singers and chess. Usual Suspects, it's time to switch you off for the final time. You didn't choose chess because you can't play chess.
I know how to play it, but in the same way I didn't pick Dallas. I'm not a big fan.
OK, you've got one in there of your own. There's one that you would have chosen that they chose for you. It's not the worst board in the world, is it, considering you've only chosen one subject category yourself?
I think there's chances, but not great.
There's always chances, Ben.
Always chances.
Always chances. Ben, for £12,000, time to play the final. Ben, this is the all-important final. If you could achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize fund of £12,000. If you fail, you'll be leaving with nothing, which is great news for the Usual Suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £13,000 on the next game. Let's play the final round. Ben, here are your final 6 categories. Now, you must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £12,000. Think carefully, there's no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Opera. The Barber of Seville is an opera by Rossini.
It rings a bell. Could it be Rossini? I'll say true.
True. Wellington. The Duke of Wellington once fought a duel.
I imagine he fought quite a lot. Do I think he once fought a duel? I'll say false.
False. Russia. The world-famous Kremlin is in St. Petersburg.
Is it Moscow? Is it St. Petersburg? I'll say false.
False. Shylock. Shakespeare's Shylock is known as the Moor of Venice.
No, Shakespeare, the Moor in Shakespeare would refer to Othello. The Moor of Venice? I'll go for false for that.
False. Pop Singers. Emily Sandé's real first name is Adele.
Did she change her name because she came out at the same time as Adele? I'll say true.
True. And finally, chess. In chess, each player has 4 bishops.
No, there's only 2, so that's false.
False. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements, and those answers are locked in. Remember, if there's one single mistake, you leave with nothing. Which ones are you worried about?
Let's say B and C.
Just B and C?
B and C.
All right. Let's bring back the Usual Suspects to see what they've got to say. So, Usual Suspects, you can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Ben's answers. Ben, your answers are now locked in and you can't change them by yourself. But if you think you have made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the Usual Suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. Usual Suspects, I'm now going to ask you to tell me how well you think Ben has done, if you want to help, and if you do, how much it will cost him. Ben, who would you like to hear from first?
Let's go ladies first. Let's go Emma.
Hi, Ben. How do you feel about your answers?
I think there's perhaps one that I'm wavering on, but I think it's looking all right.
Can you come back to me?
Certainly can. Cheryl?
I don't think you've achieved perfection. There's one that you've got wrong, and I may be interested in joining you for half.
OK, Cheryl would like £6,000 of your £12,000 prize fund to help you out because she says she thinks that you've got one wrong. And do you want to hear from anybody else?
Yeah, let's see what Brian's got to say.
I think you've done well. There's one that's definitely wrong. One I'm unsure of. I would want more than half, so on that basis, I'll probably rule myself out.
OK. Emma, have you had a thought?
I think I am going to rule myself out, I'm not certain enough.
OK, Emma's not certain, so we come back to Cheryl. Now, Cheryl has asked for £6,000 of your £12,000.
I think I'll give it a go on my own.
On your own?
I'll give it a go on my own.
OK, negotiations are over. You've decided to go it alone. £12,000 at stake, 6 answers away. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. Do you know what? I'm interested to know now. Cheryl was going to come down and help out because she says you had one wrong. Which one, Cheryl?
I have some doubt about B.
You have some doubts about B?
Yes.
Well, should you have had Cheryl come down and help you, or shouldn't you? Let's start at the top then. The Barber of Seville is an opera by Rossini. You said this was true. If it turns green, you're well on your way towards the £12,000 prize fund. Is it true or false? It is true. Well, that makes B interesting, doesn't it? Let's hop over it then, shall we, and go on to C. The world-famous Kremlin is in St. Petersburg. You said that you thought this was false, probably in Moscow. So we need this to turn red for you. Is it true or false? It is false. And of course, the Kremlin is in Moscow. D. Shakespeare's Shylock is known as the Moor of Venice. Now, you remember this? You thought that the Moor of Venice was referring to...
I thought the Moor was Othello.
So you said false. We need this to turn red. If it does, you are halfway to the £12,000 all on your own. Is it true or is it false? It is false. Othello, of course, is the Moor of Venice. So this is really getting interesting now, isn't it? Emily Sanday's real first name is Adele. Now, you came up with an interesting theory here that she changed her first name because Adele was successful at the same time that
I think it's still her first name. I just don't think she's known by her. I think Emily might be a middle name or someone else's.
But you think she changed her name because Adele was successful?
That's what I think.
All right. Is it true or false? It's true. Do you know what? It's not only true, it's true for all of the reasons that you said. Because Adele was out and successful, she decided that she should probably go with her middle name rather than her first name. Well. Just 2 away from the £12,000. In chess, each player has 4 bishops. You said, no, he doesn't. Has 2. So this is false. If you're right and this turns red, you are 1 away from the £12,000. Is it true or false? It is false. Yeah, each player has 2 bishops, exactly as you said. So here we are, back to the Duke of Wellington. Once fought a duel. You said false. Interestingly, Cheryl offered to come down for half the money, and that's the one that she would have liked to have talked to you about changing. If this turns red, you've won £12,000 all on your own. If it turns green, you should have asked Cheryl to come down and join you and shared it, £6,000 each. The Duke of Wellington once fought a duel. You need this to turn red. Is it true or false for £12,000? It's true, I'm afraid. And on this occasion, it was a brave thing to go for it yourself. Cheryl, she had an eye on that question B. She said it before we started the run through, and that's the one that would have changed, and maybe the two of you could have been walking around with £6,000. It's bad news for you. Obviously, you haven't achieved perfection. Usual suspects, great news for you nonetheless. The prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £13,000. Then you failed to achieve perfection, which means you go home with nothing other than our thanks for playing a great game.
Thank you.
You must be at least chuffed with that.
Yeah, no, that went better than I thought it was going to. So, yeah, I've had a good day. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Ben, everybody. Right, it's now time to meet the next usual suspect, hoping to play perfection today. New usual suspect, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm originally from Stockport, but now live in Birmingham, and I'm a shop manager.
Welcome, Joe, and good luck to all of you as we now find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play perfection. Cheryl, it's you. Please come down and join me. Cheryl, welcome to the game. So, listen, it's now you versus the usual suspects. They were your teammates. They're now very definitely your enemies. Here's the good news. Nobody has won the last 12 games, so the prize fund currently stands at £13,000. What are you going to spend the money on if you win £13,000?
I'm in a recent new relationship. It's all going very, very nicely, and it would be fabulous to go on a really romantic holiday.
Oh, that's nice. All right, look, best of luck.
Thank
3
you.
rounds and a final to come. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. Away they go. Cheryl, are you ready to get started?
I am.
Then let's play perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds start now. Elizabeth I had Lady Jane Grey executed.
True.
True. The New York Rangers are an ice hockey team.
False.
False. Blandings is a BBC comedy starring Timothy Spall.
True.
True. And with acres of time left, Patriot Day is celebrated in the US on September the 11th.
True.
True. I wondered for a minute there whether you were just going to sit there and let all the time tick away to make the most use of it. Well, plenty of time to spare. You answered very positively along the way there. Was it a positive round?
No, I did make a few guesses on those.
All right, well, there's no need for the usual suspects to know that. So before we reveal how well you've done, let's bring them back and see what they have to say. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Cheryl's answers. Emma, kick us off here. Has she achieved perfection?
I'm not sure that she has. I'm not 100% sure on D.
Brian, what do you think?
B, the New York Rangers, I'm pretty confident they're an ice hockey team, so that should be true.
Joe, what do you think?
I'm not 100% sure that she's got D right in this case.
OK, let's find out how many are correct. Just 2 out of 4, in fact, certainly not perfection, and it means the usual suspects are into the game. Can you steal the round? You can see Cheryl's answers. You need to change 2 of them. Which 2?
Okay, Brian, so you're pretty sure on B?
B should be true, definitely.
Okay, we definitely want to change B from false to true.
B changes from false to true, and 1 more.
We agreed on D.
D.
What do you think?
I would agree.
Okay, Nick, and we'd like to change D from true to false, please.
And D changes from true to false, so leaving A and C as answered by Cheryl. OK, usual suspects. Let's find out what the correct answers are. Elizabeth I had Lady Jane Grey executed. Is that true or false? It's false, usual suspects. Yes, that's the one you were looking for. Can you still achieve perfection at home? Let's run through these. Let's clear that one up straight away. She was actually executed during the reign of Mary I. Let's move on. The New York Rangers are an ice hockey team. True or false? Yeah, absolutely true. You're right, Brian. Blandings is a BBC comedy starring Timothy Spall. True or false? Yes, absolutely true. And Patriot Day is celebrated in the US on September the 11th. Is that true or false? That's absolutely true. Well, usual suspects, you missed an opportunity there. Let's take a look at the final board, shall we? This is your final board appearing, Cheryl. These 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories. Here are the final round category options, starting with Tom Jones and on to Australia with many more in between. Now, because neither side won the round, the 2 categories that were due to be chosen will now be carried over to the next round, meaning 4 categories will be on offer. Usual suspects, time to switch you off. You missed a chance there. Right, they've gone so we can have a little chat about that list. So, which will be the first 2 you choose when you get an opportunity?
Tom Jones and catchphrases.
Righto, and which 2 are you quite keen to avoid?
Eurovision and perhaps Red Rum.
And Red Rum. All right, Cheryl, winning this next round when there are 4 categories on offer could be crucial. You ready?
Yes, thank you.
Let's play round 2. Your 45 seconds start now. Stableford is a scoring system used in golf.
False.
False. Spondylix is a slang term for money.
True.
True. In the novel Watership Down, Bigwig is a rabbit.
True.
True. And finally, the Piazza Navona is in Rome.
False.
False. And with time to spare, you've answered all 4 statements. Any better than round 1?
I know that I've got 1 definitely right.
OK. All right, well, before we reveal exactly how well you've done, it's time to bring back the usual suspects. So once again, here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Cheryl's answers. Brian, can you see anything wrong with those answers?
I think she's done well. I'm a little unsure on C. I think Bigwig may be the seagull. I'm not 100%, Nick.
Joe, what do you think?
The only one I may question would be D, perhaps. It sounds like it could well be in Rome.
Oh, a mixed bag there from the usual suspects. Let's find out how many are correct. Just That's 2 out of 4 again, I'm afraid. Once again, you have a chance to steal the round, usual suspects, if you can identify the 2 answers that are wrong and change them.
B, Spondulix is definitely a slang term for money. A, I've never heard of Stableford as a scoring system, which leads me towards C and D.
I'd agree with you on that.
Can we change C from true to false
C changes from true to false.
and D from false to true?
And D from false to true, leaving A and B as answered by Cheryl. OK, usual suspects. Let's find out what the correct answers are. Stableford is a scoring system used in golf. Is that true or false? It's true, usual suspects. It's true. Does nobody want to win a round? What's going on? Maybe you can still achieve perfection at home, so let's check, shall we? Spondulix is a slang term for money. Is that true or false? Yep, that's true. You're all certain about that one. In the novel, Watership Down Bigwig is a rabbit. True or false? Yeah, rabbit, not a seagull, I'm afraid, Brian. And the Piazza Navona is in Rome. True or false? Yeah, that one is actually true, and very beautiful it is too. However, something that's not beautiful is the final board. Let's have a look at it, shall we, usual suspects? Because no one wants to win a round at the moment. In round 3, all 6 categories will be on offer. Twice you spurned opportunities, usual suspects. I think the report would read, could do better. We'll see you a bit later. Cheerio. Now this, if you've been saving yourself up,
This is the moment.
this is the time to let rip. OK, Cheryl, you ready to carry on?
I am, thank you.
Let's play round 3. Your 45 seconds start now. Kalamata is a variety of olive.
True.
True. Stephen Ward is a musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
False.
False. Tangier is a city in Egypt.
False.
False. And finally, Mary McAleese is a former president of New Zealand.
True.
True, and with that you've answered all 4 statements. Spent some time overseas.
It was in the back of my mind. Tangiers might be in Algeria, certainly around there. I was in 2 minds.
Well, you never know. Before we reveal how well you've done, it's time to bring back the usual suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Cheryl's answers. Brian, what do you think?
Well, I'd like to say thank you to Cheryl. She's given us an opportunity to redeem ourselves because D is definitely wrong. Mary McAleese is a former president of the Republic of Ireland.
How do you come by that knowledge, Brian?
Well, I'm well read, Nick.
Emma, I presume you agree with Brian on that one, do you?
I certainly do agree with Brian on D, and I also think B is incorrect.
All right, OK. Well, they think you haven't done very well this time. Let's find out how many are correct. Two out of 4. Well, it's consistent.
I'm consistent, yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, consistently just below par in terms of holding the usual suspects out of the game. But given the first 2 rounds, got a lot to worry about, to be honest. Let's go over and see whether they can pull this one out of the bag. You need to change 2 answers, but which 2?
Well, we'll definitely change D from true to false.
OK, D changes from true to false. And 1 more.
I'm fairly sure on A and C.
Yeah.
I would change B.
And can we also change B from false to true, please?
And B changes from false to true, leaving A and C as answered by Cheryl. OK, usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. Kalamata is a variety of olive. Is that true or false? Yeah, true. Very lovely they are too, actually. Stephen Ward is a musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber. True or false? Yes, that's true. Tangier is a city in Egypt. True or false? Yeah, it is false. It's in Morocco, in actual fact. And so you know where this is going now, don't you, usual suspects? Mary McAleese is a former president of New Zealand. True or false? It's false. Congratulations, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. Absolutely right, Brian, President of the Republic of Ireland. Cheryl, the usual suspects have succeeded where you failed and they've stolen the round. Let's take a look at the final board, shall we? Because it's a virtual desert at the moment with no subject categories chosen. But because you won round 3, you get to choose all 6 for the final. So how do you want to go about it?
2 each.
OK, I'm going to go with disco first.
Disco goes into the final
And Eurovision.
and Eurovision. Brian, what do you fancy?
I think Crufts
Crufts goes in.
and red rum, please.
And red rum. Emma.
I'll go with catchphrases
Catchphrases and
the human body.
the human body. We now know our 6 final categories. They are disco, Eurovision, Crufts, red rum, catchphrases, and the human body. Very well done, usual suspects. We'll see you a little bit later. In the meantime, we're going to switch you off. Cheerio. You didn't want Eurovision or red rum.
No, they're there.
You did fancy catchphrases, though.
Yes.
Crufts.
Yeah, I don't watch Crufts, but I like dogs, so you never know.
Yeah. It depends how it falls, really, doesn't it? All right,
does.
then. Cheryl, for £13,000, it's time to play the final. Cheryl, this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize fund of £13,000. If you fail, of course, you'll be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £14,000 on the next game. Let's play the final round. Cheryl, here are your final 6 categories. You must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £13,000. Think carefully, there's no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
I am.
Let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Disco. Nile Rodgers was a guitarist in the band Chic.
True.
True. Eurovision. The first Eurovision Song Contest was held in France.
False.
False. Crufts. Crufts' dog show traditionally takes place in December.
False.
False. Red rum. Ginger Baker was the trainer of Red Rum.
True.
True. Catchphrases. Fan Dabby Dozy is the catchphrase of Hale and Pace.
False.
False. And finally, human body. Erythema affects the heart in humans.
True.
True. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements. Your answers are now locked in. Remember, if there's a single mistake, you leave with nothing. So which ones are you worried about?
The disco one and F.
All right, let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they have to say. Usual suspects, you can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Cheryl's answers. Cheryl, your answers are now locked in and you can't change them by yourself, but if you think you've made a mistake, you can unlock them with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. So, Cheryl, who would you like to hear from first?
Brian.
Cheryl, I think you've done well. I think there's one that's definitely wrong and one I'm not sure on. I might be willing to help Cheryl, but maybe you'd be better off speaking to these guys first.
Okay. Joe.
OK, there's one that I'm certain that you've got wrong, but on the others, I'm really not too sure. I don't think I'd risk it for the money, so I'm going to rule myself out now.
Emma.
There's one there I can see that I think is wrong. Another one I'm not so sure about. Yeah, I think I'm going to rule myself out again.
OK, Emma. So Emma's ruled herself out. So we're back to Brian again.
What would you come down for, Brian?
Because I'm unsure I'd be taking a risk, Cheryl, I'd want £9,000.
Would you accept 7?
I'd accept 7.5, Cheryl.
I take that offer.
OK, agreed, Brian? 7,500?
Yep.
OK, for £7,500 of the £13,000, please come down and join us. OK, Cheryl, you've asked Brian for help. If you achieve perfection, it will cost you £7,500 of your potential prize fund of £13,000. Brian, you've now forfeited your chance to play in the next game. This is your only shot at winning perfection. Have you made the right decision? I think we're about to find out. So, here are the final round statements. All 6 answers are now unlocked. Brian, which answers do you want Cheryl to change?
I did say that I was 100% sure you had one wrong. That's not strictly speaking true. I'm very happy that B through F are correct. I'm not sure A is true. Which one were you doubtful on?
A being one of them, and F, because I know arrhythmia is to do with the heart, but erythema I'm not sure about, because I initially thought it might be arrhythmia.
Okay.
So I'm tending to stay towards true for F, but I'd be happy to change A to
Okay, let's change A then and leave the rest of the board as it is.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Change A to false.
A changes from true to false, definitely?
Yes.
Okay, so let's change that. And before I lock the rest of them in, is there anything else you want to change?
No, we'll go with the rest.
Go with the rest as they are.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's lock in the rest of the answers as answered by Cheryl. Right then, £13,000 at stake, £5,500 to Cheryl and £7,500 to Brian. 6 answers away. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. Let's start at the top and let's deal with that one straight away, shall we?
Okay.
Nile Rodgers was a guitarist in the band Chic. Cheryl, you said this was true. Brian said he had doubts about this one. That's why he came down to join in. So we need this to turn red. If it turns red, you're one on the way to £13,000. If it turns green, you'll know that bringing Brian down to join in was a mistake. So, Nile Rodgers was a guitarist in the band Chic. We need this to turn red. Is it true or false? It's true. I'm so sorry, Cheryl. Well, I mean, that's heartbreaking right at the top, isn't it? It means you can't achieve perfection, and it's good news for the usual suspects. Perhaps you can still achieve perfection at home. Would I be right in thinking, Brian, now you're quite keen that something else is wrong on that board?
I'm desperate for something else to be wrong on that board, Nick. Yes,
Yeah.
I really don't want it to be my fault.
The first Eurovision Song Contest was held in France. You said false. We need this to turn red, or maybe not. Is it true or false? Yeah, it is false, in actual fact. It was held in Switzerland. Yeah. Would you want the rest of the board to be correct? Or would you rather there was something else wrong?
I'd rather there was something else wrong, in all honesty.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. Let's see if we can help you out with the Crufts Dog Show. Traditionally takes place in December. You said this was false. Let's see what happens. Is it true or false? Yeah, it is false. Traditionally happens in March. This isn't getting any easier, is it? Ginger Baker was the trainer of Red Rum. You said this was true. Is it true or false? It is false. Hallelujah. I've never seen anyone looking so relieved to be wrong. Honestly, if we'd have got to the end of that, it would have been you'd have actually taken that round away from Cheryl.
I never would have forgiven myself, and nor would Cheryl.
No. So yes, Ginger Baker, not Ginger Baker, Ginger McCain.
Yes.
Was the trainer, in fact. So let's move on. Fandabby Dozy is the catchphrase of Hale and Pace. Is that true or false? Yeah, it's false. It was the Crankies.
Yes, it.
In actual fact. And finally, erythema affects the heart in humans. Now, it's interesting about this one. You went with true, and when you had the chance to change it, you said you were worried, but you stuck with true. Is it true or false? Yeah, it's false in actual fact. Erythema is actually a redness of the skin.
Right.
Well, in the end, it was all right, really, wasn't it? Brian's intervention didn't cause any deadly harm. And in actual fact, it's just bad news for both of you because you go home without the cash. Great news for the usual suspects because the prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £14,000. Well, that might have been a heart-stopping moment for you two, but it's quite entertaining for us, to be honest with you.
Glad we could oblige.
Listen, you've both been great contestants. I hope you enjoyed playing the game.
Indeed. Very
All right,
much so.
let's hear it, please, for Brian and Cheryl. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. Please join us again next time when our usual suspects have the chance to play again, this time for £14,000. It's an interesting one, this. You have to be really brave, and we'll only pay for absolute perfection. Goodbye.